Let you know right now, we ended up making over $2,200. I sold my big, large that I never expected to sell. I did not sell out of for the first time ever. Hey guys, welcome back to Crafts Go Bloom. My name is Krista, and let's get started on this market vlog. It is the night before the market. It's not usually so dark in here, but it's currently 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I'm getting some last minute things done the night before. I'm laying everything out and doing some last minute inventory. Today is August 31st, so I didn't crochet. It's very late. I filmed the everything I crocheted in August video, so that should already be up on my channel by the time you're seeing this. And so I need to incorporate that into my inventory for the market that starts tomorrow. It's Labor Day weekend, and the market doesn't even start until 5 p.m. tomorrow night, so that's not too terrible. I don't have to be there super early tomorrow morning. Then it goes for 12 hours on Saturday and 8 or 10 hours on Sunday. We've never done anything this big before, so I'm really excited to see how it goes. I am going to set you up and do a time lapse of laying out everything that I'm taking to this market, and then we'll talk about that a little bit. Let's start up here at the top. I've got cats, bears, gummy bears. I have some crayons hiding back there, some pillows and baskets. I have over here some large mushrooms, a mermaid, some pumpkins. I have some pickles hiding back there. Octos, watermelon, pineapple, some random things, sea turtles, some dino nuggets. This is my chicken pattern. Not these. These are a large chick by a menagerie of stitches, and it's actually supposed to be a pattern in worsted weight. It's supposed to turn out much smaller. The chickens with the comb, that is my pattern. I've got tons of keychains in here, and I have some other keychains back there. Some watermelons, a dog, a lamb, some llamas, some ice cream cones, some more pumpkins and turtles. Saw me setting out 10 more of these mushy boys because those keep selling out for me. So I'm excited to see how those do. And then let's move the camera here. So this is a new item for me. This is a free pattern on Instagram. These are ice cream cones. The pattern calls for them to have a face, but I was specifically looking for items that did not have eyes on them that would be better for smaller children. So I just went ahead and made those that way. I think they turned out really good. This is my dog pattern. This is a blueberry pattern. Here's more of my cats. This is a little octo pattern that I wrote. Triceratops, some frogs, some jellyfish. Those are whales. Got my bear pattern, apple slices, strawberries down here. I have large jellyfish. My Chip the Chick pattern is in here, and this big cat. And then leggy frogs, and this looks like quite a pile of leggy frogs, but I average selling 1 per hour at each of my markets. We're going to be open for 22 hours and I only have 18 leggy frogs, so I'm quite curious to see if that pile is empty, or at the very least, if I sell all of the green ones. Everyone wants the green ones, and I haven't had as much luck selling the colorful ones that I made, so I just keep those around for whenever they do sell, and I just keep replenishing with different greens. And these are made out of a Bernat plush. So they're a little bit larger, and they're definitely squishier. I really like these. So that's everything that I'm taking to my market. Alright, so this is everything that I'm taking to my market. I may be able to crochet a few things over the weekend, but I don't expect to be able to add a whole ton more. I'm curious to see just how much we sell. So I still need to laminate some new price sheets. I'll insert a little clip of that here. I got them all cut out on the little paper cutter thing, and now I want to laminate them just so that they stay nicer and cleaner. Then I just need to double check my inventory list, make sure I have everything written down right, and then load up tomorrow. So I will try to get a clip of that as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
This is day one, and you can see we are fully stocked. The sun is going down because it's 5 p.m. on a Friday, so we're getting ready to have fun into the night. I've got some twinkle lights that are going to be on later, and everything's as fully stocked as it's going to be. Take a look at those mushrooms because they might not be there in just a few clips. This is the morning of day 2. You can tell those wooden crates are a lot different. My tables are starting to look a little emptier. We moved things around, tried to fill it out, make it look as nice as we could. And we've got our pricing signs. You can clearly see those. That's always helpful for our customers. It looks like the mushrooms are still hanging out for now. This is day 3. We drastically had to change where items were on different tables. All of the plushies that I have left are condensed down to these first 2 tables. That's everything. And on this 3rd table, I've had to bring out the winter gear. And if you can see in those crates, we have quite a few less things, and those mushrooms are missing.
Hey guys, I'm back now. It's been a few days since the market. It was a 3-day market, and I needed a break after all that excitement. This is everything that is left after our 3-day market, plus I added in some items that I was able to make while the market was going on. These sea turtles that are hiding in here are new items. And I had to add in all of my hats and like ear warmers that I've made. I don't normally even show them because it's summertime and I just wasn't really worried about even trying to sell one of those. But I had to bring those out. And I didn't end up selling any, but this is all I had left from that massive pile that I showed you earlier. Some interesting things that happened at this market. I did not sell out of leggy frogs for the first time ever. I prepped a bunch of cats in pink, pastel, girly colors, and then the cats that sold were all of the dark, more like boy colors and things like that. I didn't actually sell any of those pink ones. I also prepped a bunch of these mini octos and ended up not selling any of those like I have in the past. Same thing with blueberries. I completely sold out of blueberries, so I restocked those and didn't sell any. And I made a bunch of ice cream cones that didn't have any faces on them, and I had far less people who were interested in things that didn't have the safety eyes on them. Let's see if I can stand back. I think, yep, this is small enough that I can get it all in one shot now. So I just showed you everything that is left from our market, plus a few items were actually added in. I was not planning on taking a few things, and there were a few things that I hurried up and got finished to add. Sea turtles is one of those. I sold out of sea turtles, and so I hurried up and finished some that I just had like the parts for and stuff like that. and got those, and we ended up selling a couple of those also. So as I said, this was a 3-day event. We were open for a total of 22 hours. I will just go ahead and let you know right now, we ended up making over $2,200. That is pretty average for us. We average making about $100 per hour that we are open. Now, that is our biggest total ever, but since it's our average per hour sale, I wouldn't necessarily say that it was better than our other events, but because we were there for so long, we were able to make more money in one weekend than we have ever done in the past. Now to check out the inventory and go over the items that I sold out of, or at least that sold. We sold 6 bears. We sold 8 of my daughter's bee pattern. We sold 22 of the bracelets that my daughter makes, and I don't think I put those in the beginning of this video, but I've definitely shown them in the past in the market prep for other markets. I sold 2 out of the 3 of the small bunnies that I took. I only sold 8 cats this time, which I was actually a little bit surprised about. I sold my big, large cat that I never expected to sell. I've talked about this in other videos. I made a video about it where I completed this cat, and then I've made other videos and talked about how, like, it's just my large item that's an attention getter that I never had any intention of someone actually buying it. It was big, it was $70. I was just not expecting someone to come after it. I was actually starting to get like emotionally attached to the cat. It was like part of my setup. I always had this cat involved. There was a little girl who came to the first night of the market and she said, I know exactly what I'm getting. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to have the money. I'm going to get that. And that's not the first time that we've heard that. So it was like, okay, cool, whatever. You know, like she's just a kid. But then she came back the next day and just like made a beeline straight over, handed over her money, and then was walking around with it in her bag for the rest of the day. So it was absolutely worth getting to see how excited she was, and I'm so glad that we had it and took it. It was definitely exciting to see that one go to its home. I had a Captain America that I took with me, and that sold. I sold 1 of the chicken nuggets. I sold all but 1 of my big chicken pattern. I had 4 of those with me and sold 3 of them. I sold 1 of the large chicks that I have. I sold 2 of my baby chip pattern right there next to the bear. I sold 3 crayons. I sold 4 out of the 7 dino nuggets that I took. I sold all 6 of my dog pattern. I sold the baby eagle that I took. Up next is leggy frogs. Now in the past, I have sold 1 leggy frog per hour that we were open. I only had 18 leggy frogs that I took, but we were open for 22 hours, so I thought we were going to sell out. Then I even added 3 more in that I made over the weekend. So I had a total of 21 leggy frogs, but I only sold 10, which was quite a surprise. This is the first market that I haven't sold out of leggy frogs or come very near selling out. This is kind of an opposite market for me. The things that normally sold didn't sell at all, and things I've never sold at all sold out. It just depends on which audience you get that day, what customers show up, who lives in that area, what do these people kind of like. So it's kind of fun to be able to sell some of the things I never sold before. I took 4 of the, we call them lumpy frogs, the Katie Bean Creative frog pattern, and we call them lumpy frogs just because it sounds funny to say leggy frogs and lumpy frogs. But she just calls it a frog pattern. It's a no-sew frog pattern that I really like. And I sold 3 out of the 4 of those. I sold 1 gummy bear. I sold 2 out of the 4 small jellyfish that I took. I sold 3 of our kind of random $5 keychains. And we only had 4 of those to start with. We sold 5 of the 6 bee keychains. And we usually call them bee chains. And I use the no-sew free pattern on Crochet Grove's Instagram. And my daughter was making them at the market and then selling them that day. I sold 4 out of the 5 cat keychains, and that was my cat pattern, just made in smaller yarn. I sold the 1 jellyfish keychain that I had. I sold all 3 of the leggy frog keychains that I took. I sold all 4 of the mushroom keychains that I took. I sold both of the whale keychains that I took. I sold the Lucy the Lammy pattern. I only had 1 of those and sold that. I sold the large mermaid. That was another item that I wasn't expecting to necessarily sell because it was a bigger, expensive item, so I was excited about that. I only had 2 brown mushrooms left this time around, the little, like, chunky mushroom guy. I had 2 that had brown tops and sold both of those. I sold the large red mushroom that I took. I only had time to make 1 pop mushroom and that sold. The chunky red mushrooms that I took, I ended up completely selling out of, and I had 11 of those. I sold 9 out of the 12 octos that I took. I sold the penguin that I had, 1 of the 2 pickles that I took, 1 large pumpkin, 1 extra large pumpkin. I sold 22 of my scrunchies, and I started out with 37 of them. I've never sold, I'm looking down at my sheet in case you're wondering, I've never sold that many scrunchies in one time, so I actually haven't had to restock those in a while, so I've got to add more of those. I have 1 color that was kind of left over that's like a light blue color, so I need to make more yellows, reds, greens, those kinds of colors. I sold 2 out of the 3 large strawberries that I took. I only had 3 Triceratops, and I sold out of all of those. I sold 1 of the 2 Pop Turtles that I took. I sold out of all 4 of the Sea Turtles that I took on Friday night. So I hurried up and I got 6 more of those together on Saturday, and I sold 2 more on Sunday. All in all, for the weekend, I took 10 sea turtles and I sold 6 of them. I sold 1 of my small watermelon pattern. I sold 1 whale. I originally took 8 of my mini octos and I sold 3 of those, but then I added a bunch of stock over the weekend. I actually had 20 of them available and then kind of only sold 3 of those. They sold out at a past market, so I thought they would do well, and that was just not something that my customers were interested in that time. And I sold 2 of the ice cream cone where I purposely didn't put a face on it, so they would be good for younger children. And then the other item that was very exciting was I had a green striped blanket, a small blanket. I don't even think I showed that in the beginning of this video, but that sold. I usually keep it with my hats and ear warmers and things as more like a winter setup. But we sold so many things on Friday and Saturday that Sunday we had to pull down one of our tall stands, and I used 2 6-foot tables, some crates on the ground, and a 4-foot table. But we had sold so many things that we had to completely rearrange what the crates looked like because they looked quite empty. We took everything off the 4-foot table and put it on the 2 6-foot tables. And on the 4-foot table, we filled that with the hats and the headbands and the blanket. So that blanket also sold. So for our first 3-day market, which is over Labor Day weekend, we made over $2,000. Got to chat with more vendors, which is always fun for us. And because it's our first year doing markets, it's really nice to get to talk to them and hear what upcoming ones they're going to be at. We've done enough markets now that there are a few people we get to see every single time, and so it's nice to get back. It's nice to go back and see those new friends again. So in case you missed my last video, go check that out. That was actually our best market where we doubled our per hour sales, and it wasn't even open for very long. So go check that out and find out all those details. I will leave that linked here. So thanks for hanging out today. I will be coming out with a bunch of pattern videos soon and definitely more market vlogs through the end of this season. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.